Hello and welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you're joining us from today, whatever time zone, country, city. So excited to be able to welcome you to Syracuse University online, virtually, to share more about this fantastic institution. I know, wait a few moments just for everyone else to join the Zoom room. We do have a great group that are registered for tonight's session. So we're gonna wait a few moments just for everybody to come on in. So feel free to grab a pillow, a glass of water, favorite snack, as we're going to spend the next 35 to 40 minutes together talking about Syracuse University. So we're going to wait just for a couple more seconds just for everyone else to come into the space. I hope you had a great day. It was a great day up here in Syracuse, New York. And so really excited to be able to share more about the Orange family with you tonight. My name is Mike McGrath. I'm an associate director in the Office of Admissions here at Syracuse University. I'm joined on the back end by April Lynch. We are excited to be able to present to you a little bit more information about the university, opportunities for academics, research, study abroad. I'll talk about campus life. We'll talk about the application process, and we'll have an opportunity to answer your questions as well. You're welcome to submit those using the Q&A function in Zoom, and we will do our best to answer those throughout our time together. But really excited to be able to connect with you tonight. I would love to start by just sort of giving an overview of where we're located. If you're not familiar, Syracuse is located in upstate New York, the heart of New York State. We welcome students from 49 states across the nation and 89 countries globally. So no matter where you're joining us from tonight, where you're looking to go into the future, there's somebody there who bleeds orange. And orange is a pretty big deal for us. It really is more than just a color. It's a way of life. Our students are bold, they're passionate, they're committed, in the classroom, in their communities, and in their careers once they leave us. And that process starts now as we're getting to know you. Are you bold? Are you passionate? Are you committed to the work that you're doing in high school or college if you're a transfer student? Are you orange? Syracuse is home to 15,000 undergraduate students all across our campus who are exploring so many different opportunities for academics, involved with clubs and organizations. We are a mid-sized research university on a residential campus within the city of Syracuse. Downtown is 5 minutes away from our campus. And we are home to 10 schools and colleges. And that really allows us to offer the best of both worlds. We have all the benefits of being a university where you can meet students from across the globe, where you can connect with faculty and staff who are leaders in their field, some who have won Nobel Prizes. But we operate like a small liberal arts college. Our average class size is 26 students. And with a 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio, you really will know your professors and your classmates well during your time at Syracuse. We are founded in the liberal arts. No matter your major, you're taking classes in the College of Arts and Sciences, in the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs. And so that's something as you're looking to explore, have a strong breadth of knowledge. You'll be taking classes in the humanities, the social sciences, the natural sciences. But you get to choose what those classes are. How many of you hate chemistry? Some of you may not like that subject, and that's okay. You most likely do not need to take chemistry to graduate from Syracuse. Unless you're a chem major, then I'd question why you rose your hands. But that's something, right? You can take those classes that really speak to your interests, that allow you to succeed academically and to explore what there is out there. And so we see students who are really focused in taking classes across all of our schools and colleges, no matter your major. And we actually have over 200 majors for you to explore at Syracuse. And so if you are interested in the humanities, if you're interested in communications, in business, in education, in sport management, architecture, musical theater, acting, engineering, there are so many fantastic opportunities for you at Syracuse. But some of you might be undecided. You're not sure yet of what it is you're looking to study, or maybe have multiple interests. This can be a great place for you as well. In 7 of our 10 schools and colleges, there are undecided options, giving you a chance to explore those interests academically, to figure out what it is you might like, and in some cases, what you don't. And you have a great opportunity to really discover multiple interests when you're at Syracuse. 50% of our students are actually doing something outside of just a core major. That could be a minor. They might be majoring in architecture and doing a minor in real estate. So designing the building and then selling it. But those minors don't have to be related. I knew a student, Angenique, who was majoring in communications and was doing a minor in dance. She wasn't looking to be a professional dancer. She just wanted to take dance classes. And so those minors can add to your major or just give you a chance to explore those multiple interests you may have. And if you really are multi-interested, this can be a great place for you to have multiple majors. We have students who are double majors, so they're doing more than one major in the same school or college. So that could be biology and chemistry, or physics and political science. We've also seen triple majors, even quadruple majors, graduate from Syracuse. We also have dual enrollment options. So you could be in two separate schools at the same time at Syracuse. So you could be studying marketing in the Whitman School of Management and applied data analytics in the School of Information Studies, really setting yourself apart, not only academically, but when you graduate in the career, right? You have that really fantastic breadth of knowledge and focus in two separate programs at the same time. And for those of you already thinking about that future, we also have accelerated learning opportunities. So you can graduate within 5 years and have a bachelor's and a master's. So multiple majors allow that. You have 4+1s, 3+2s that allow you to complete an undergraduate and master's degree within the course of 5 years at Syracuse University. Again, really helping to set yourself apart in your future. We have the Renee Crown University Honors Program that allows students to take an extra level of rigor in their classes at the university. That's available to any student across the colleges at Syracuse. So no matter your major, you could be a part of the honors program. You can apply up until the end of your sophomore year. And they allow you to take some really unique classes. They go deep sea diving off of Woods Hole in Massachusetts. They make lava right here on our campus. And then they do a senior thesis when they graduate. All this really does help you figure out your future, to create a great, brilliant plan for you. And it's contextualized based off of your interests and needs. And I know sometimes those interests change. What you're looking to study at 17 could be different when you're 18 or 19 or 20 or 20 and a half or 20 and a half in 3 days. And so that's something we see students who will change their major here at Syracuse. They'll even change colleges within the university, giving you that chance to really customize and be flexible with your academics. And you have a great team behind you to help you figure out that process. I'm an academic advisor who's there to make sure you're on track to graduate within 4 years or 5 if that's what your program dictates. They're there to help you figure out what classes you need to take, how to add a minor, change a major, what that process might be. You'll also have a peer advisor who's an upperclassman in your specific school or college. They're there to answer the questions you probably don't want to ask a faculty member, like who you should take Economics 203 with, where you should live your sophomore year on campus, where's the best pizza in town? Those really vital questions you need answered. And the answer to that last question is Mario and Salvo's. So when you do come to Syracuse for a visit, be sure to stop by for a slice. But what I think really does set us apart, what our crown jewel is when it comes to advising, is our career counseling. We have a decentralized model at Syracuse, which means each of our 10 schools and colleges have their own career services. And that's purposeful. Somebody that's going into chemical engineering is going to have a very different resume and cover letter than somebody going into musical theater. And so those career counselors will help you build resumes and cover letters specific to the industry you're looking to go into. They'll connect you with businesses as early as your freshman year to learn how to network, to build relationships, to interview. And then they'll help you find internships and full-time job opportunities. Our students have interned at multiple companies. Some on the screen you'll see. They've worked at JPMorgan Chase and EY, the Walt Disney Company and NBC Universal. They've interned at SpaceX and NASA, Amazon and Microsoft, the NBA, the CDC, the FBI, the CIA, we think. They've worked at countless organizations. I could spend the rest of our time naming them. One I do want to talk about is Micron. If you're not familiar, Micron is a semiconductor company that's based in Idaho that's actually building their East Coast headquarters in Syracuse, New York. This is going to bring 9,000 jobs to the city of Syracuse and $100 billion of development. And will really create a great pipeline for students here at the university interested in engineering, computer science, but also in data analysis and development, wanting to get into business and communication, even science education. So we're really excited for Micron and all that's going to bring not only to the city of Syracuse, but to the university as well. And this really does help to create a strong return on investment. Last year, 93% of our graduating class were employed or in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. Nearly 40% coming from a campus connection. And I think a key reason why these companies are hiring Syracuse University students is because they're not just sitting in the classroom. They're really engaged with their studies at every step of the way. And that could be research. We are a Research One institution, which is the highest ranking given to a university nationwide. And so I like to equate that to Division I in athletics. It's that top tier with great funding, opportunities, and resources. And so it could be research with specific professors on campus, like Kate Lewis, who's a professor in biotechnology. She's doing research in the DNA replication of zebrafish. She always looks to hire first-year students to be part of her lab. It could be with centers on campus, like the Moynihan Institute of Global Affairs, which is leading research center in counterterrorism and national security. The Bleier Center for Pop Culture and Television, which is doing some great work right now around the writers and actors strike. But maybe you have your own ideas that you're looking to get involved with. We really support that here at Syracuse University. If students who are looking to do research on their own, we see students like Isabel, a fashion design major who decided to build her own line of sustainable clothing using hemp cloth and mushroom leather. Ethan, a nutrition major who was doing work on the Three Sisters, the foundational dietary needs within indigenous culture here in the United States. A lot of great opportunities for you to extend your education outside of the classroom. On top of research opportunities, there are experiential learning centers like our NASA-approved flight simulator, only one of 5 of its kind on a college campus. We have Syracuse Stage, which allow acting and musical theater students the chance to build skills at an equity and national recognized theater. Invented SU, where students are competing against other students on campus. They are building their own designs and prototypes. Group of students this year just built an entirely amazing way to better compost cardboard that come out in little cubes, sort of like a real-life version of what you see in WALL-E. We have the Blackstone Launchpad that helps students start their own businesses. Josh Aviv is a great example of that. As a student, he started a company called Spark Charge, a better way to charge electric vehicles. He actually brought that design to the Sharks on Shark Tank, where he got $500,000 and is now working with the United States, with our current administration, to find better ways for electric vehicles here in the United States. So many chances for you to really engage with research while you're here on campus, but also ways for you to engage globally as well. We really do encourage students to have global experiences during their time at Syracuse. How many of you at home are thinking about potentially studying abroad? I think a lot of you probably are. And that's something that we really do encourage here at Syracuse University. Nationwide, about 10 to 15% of students will study abroad. It's over 55% here on campus. So 55% of our students are having a global experience. We have one of the top programs in the nation, and we have 5 centers that we own and operate. In London, England, in Florence, Italy, in Strasbourg, France, in Madrid, Spain, and Santiago, Chile, where you can spend a semester taking Syracuse University classes taught by Syracuse University faculty and staff alongside Syracuse students. But maybe your heart calls elsewhere. You want to go to Ireland, to Australia, to South Korea, to South Africa. We have over 60 world partners to bring you to those locations and more. You can study abroad for a semester, but there are summer programs and short-term trips as well. Often those short-term trips are tied to a class you might take here on campus. One of my favorite of those is Mediterranean Diet and Culture. It's a nutrition class all about the food of the Mediterranean, how it's grown, resource produced, and then you spend your summer break going to Italy, eating food firsthand. A really great opportunity to have a global experience during your time at the university. In addition to these opportunities, if you are looking to go now, you are ready to go, you could actually spend your first semester as a Syracuse student abroad. So through our Discovery program, students can spend their first semester in Florence, in Madrid, in Strasbourg. So for students in our College of Engineering and Computer Science, our Maxwell School, and our College of Arts and Science, this is a great way to get an abroad experience early. You come back to campus in the spring, and it doesn't prevent you from going abroad multiple times. I knew a student, Destiny, who was a Discovery student, and then she went to London in her junior year and then went back as a senior. So if you really are looking to have global experiences, it's a great place to be. And we also have opportunities for you to study outside of the Syracuse University campus within the United States. So we have a center in Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and New York City. In LA, it's really popular with students going to the entertainment industry. They're working at Paramount. Warner Music, creative arts agency, getting that industry experience while taking classes. Students going to government and policy will spend a semester in Washington, D.C., interning on the Hill, working with congressmen and women, with embassies and law firms. And then students in business and communication, in architecture, musical theater, in education can spend a semester in New York City, taking classes, but also getting relevant internship experience. So many chances for you to really grow as a student through Syracuse and to be focused on your future. But I know going to college isn't just about being in the classroom. You're looking to really develop who you are as a person. And that often can come through clubs and organizations. We have over 350 student organizations here at Syracuse University. So no matter what it is you love to do now, or something new you want to explore, you can at Syracuse. We are home to Division I athletics here in the university, to the 2022 men's national champions in soccer. We also saw our women's lacrosse team go to the Final Four. Our football team is undefeated this year so far. So really great opportunities for you to engage with that culture on campus. But there are club and intramural sports as well. So even if you're not playing basketball in the Dome, you can still shoot hoops on our IM team, or play club soccer or field hockey, or even Quidditch. Maybe music and art is what you're passionate about. We have concert choirs, jazz bands, a cappella groups. We have our marching band, which is open to any student to join. You don't even have to audition. They'll put a piccolo in your hands and march it down the fields. They just want to help you find a place here on campus. And you don't have to be a music student. Actually, a quarter of our marching band are engineers. So if you really are looking to add to that experience when you're here on campus, to explore those interests, clubs and organizations are a great way to do that. First-year players allow non-acting majors the chance to perform in a musical in their first year. Our Mary Ann Shaw Center will organize opportunities to work with the local Syracuse City School District. So they're teaching elementary students how to read, working with high school students to talk about financial literacy. We also see students who will start their own club here on campus. One of my favorite of those is Survivor Syracuse, which is like Survivor, the TV show, but they just do that right here on our campus. So they will just stand on one leg instead of the middle of the ocean, right here on our quad that you see on the screen. We'll organize trips to go rock climbing, snow tubing, skiing, cosmic bowling, axe throwing. We are home to the 7th largest mall in America in Syracuse. We have minor league baseball and hockey. We are home to Great Lakes, to Finger Lakes, to Green Lakes. We will bring musicians and speakers and artists to campus. Recently, we've seen everyone from Khalid to Kesha, A$AP Rocky to Jack Harlow. We saw Aminé and Kid Laroi come last semester. In the fall, which is Juice Jam, which is sort of like the Coachella of Syracuse, we've seen T-Pain, Flo Milli, Doechii, Young Gravy. Last year, that concert was only $15. On campus, in addition to that, we've seen musicians like Elton John, Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen is coming to the university. So really great opportunities to engage with these artists. I also want to talk a bit about the Barnes Center at the Arch. This is the one-stop shop for health and wellness on our campus. This is our largest gym, our counseling center, and health services, all co-located in one shared space. And so a student can meet with a mental health professional, a nutritionist, physical trainer, a nurse, a pharmacist, all in the same building. There's a 2-story rock climbing wall that you see on screen, but there's also 3 floors of workout equipment, an entire floor of free weights, rooms for yoga and Zumba and Pilates. There's an S-shaped hot tub, a space to flip tires, but there's also a mind spa where students are getting massages, they're meditating, they're unwinding from class. There's a pet therapy room where we bring in 4-legged furry friends 3 days a week to help students deal with the anxiety of being away from home for the first time. There's an e-sports room where students are competing against other colleges, playing League of Legends, or just playing Mario Kart with their friends. It's right down the hall from the basketball courts, of which there are 8, so you can shoot some hoops, and then play NBA 2K23 to figure out why you missed your shot. And speaking of esports, Syracuse is actually going to be the first institution to offer a degree in esports communication and management. So if you are looking to get involved with that industry, one of the fastest growing entertainment industries nationwide, actually globally, this is really a fantastic place for you to be and to hit that ground floor. All of this is set up to create unsurpassed student experiences. And that extends as well to your living on campus. We see students live on campus for their first 2 years. That first year is going to be in a first-year residence hall with other first-year students. And then as a sophomore, you have the opportunity of living in one of our on-campus apartments that give you your own bedroom. You have a kitchen, a shared bathroom with only 2 other people. And so you really get that apartment-style living within university housing. In addition, there are upperclassmen residence halls for students who still like that residence hall feel. But first-year students live in first-year residence halls. There are 10 of those across campus. We also have 5 dining halls across campus as well, all with gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, lactose-free options, one with kosher and halal as well. We have 21 cafes, opportunities for you to go to food courts. We have Panda Express, Core Life, which is a greens and grains restaurant, Halal Shack. Syracuse runs on Dunkin', just like the rest of America. We have a Starbucks too, don't worry. So many places for you to make sure your dietary needs are being met. We have an on-campus nutritionist as well to help you if you need specific needs met when it comes to your dietary restrictions, or just wanted to accommodate things that you're looking to grow in nutritionally. But when you are living here as a first-year student, 98% of students are in a double, and the most common option is a split double, which is the image you see at the bottom of the screen. This still gives you a roommate, you still have a shared space together, but there's a wall that divides the space somewhat into 2. So you have your own area as well. And this is great. Maybe you're a Red Sox fan and you're living with a Yankees fan. September tends to be a tough month for us. Maybe you're really into Olivia Rodrigo and your roommate really likes Sabrina Carpenter. Obviously, you need a wall to divide those spaces, right? You don't want to be sour about that. And so that's something that we're looking to create, those opportunities for students to build strong relationships with their roommates. We're finding that more and more college is the first time that teenagers are having to share a room. And so this gives them the chance to figure out, how do I just live in the same space with somebody else? And that can also come from our living learning communities. At no additional cost, this gives you the chance to live with somebody who has a similar interest or major. So there's ones built around engineering or business or architecture, but also ones for e-gaming, ones for students passionate about the arts, ones for students who want to wake up at 5 in the morning to go hiking. So many great opportunities for you to be able to build relationships across the campus. And so when you are thinking about this whole thing, right, we've talked a little about Orange. What does that mean? The question becomes, how do you be a part of the Orange family? And the first step is really applying. We are on the Common Application and the Coalition Application. So 2 different ways for you to apply to the university with 2 different options for applying: early decision and regular decision. Early decision, especially if we are your first choice, if you really are ready to go Orange, is a fantastic way to apply. There's 2 different deadlines: November 15th for early decision 1 and January 5th for early decision 2. Early decision ends up being about 1/3 of our incoming class. I mean, it is a binding decision if admitted to your first choice program. So what that means, if you're applying to architecture, we admit you to architecture. We expect that you're attending Syracuse. But if you're applying to architecture and we admit you to your second choice in civil engineering, it is not a requirement that you come. That binding nature is broken, but you still can. You still have that opportunity to attend. We do see students apply regular decision. That is actually our most popular option. With regular decision, the deadline is January 5th. You'll hear back in late March. And so that's another benefit of early decision. If you apply November 15th, you'll hear back in late December. For students applying January 5th for early decision 2, you'll hear back in the beginning of February. But for regular decision, you're applying January 5th. Whether you apply September 1st or January 5th, you hear back in late March. When you apply, you get 2 different choices of programs you can put on the application. Your first choice program should be the one you're really most passionate about. What do you want to be reviewed for first? That second choice should ideally be in another school or college. We do review students by the college they apply to at Syracuse, not the individual major, in most cases. So that means if you're thinking the Whitman School of Management, you put accounting as your first choice and finance as your second. If we can't admit you to accounting, we most likely are unable to admit you to finance, right? Because it's the same review process, because we're looking at all Whitman students together. So maybe a good second choice would be economics in the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs. And so that's something to think about as you go through this process. What are other interests you may have outside of that initial major you're applying to really give you your best shot in the review process? We also have something called SU Chooses, which allows us to look at every possible major for you. We're not going to put you in trumpet if you didn't audition, don't worry. We want to see what could be a possible place that you could thrive at Syracuse University. On the application, it is holistic in that review process. So we're not just looking at your GPA. You are more than just a number. We want to know what classes you've taken. How have you grown academically? How have you stretched yourself within the context of your high school? Speaking of, what are you doing in your high school outside of school? Are there clubs, organizations, leadership opportunities? But also, are you having part-time jobs that you're involved with? Are you doing research or volunteer experiences? Do you take care of your younger siblings? All of that is important to us, right? If you started your own Instagram tie-dye company, include that, right? We want to know who you are and what makes you you. We ask for an academic letter of recommendation from one core subject area teacher and also one from your career counselor, college counselor, or school counselor. When you apply, we're also looking to learn more about you in your essay. That's a really great opportunity for you to share who you are, your own experiences, to be authentic to who you are as a person. There's also a Syracuse supplemental question. It's less than 250 words, and that's a really great chance for you to share why Syracuse, to talk a little bit more about your experiences, right? How you've overcome adversity, how you've persevered, what you've learned throughout your time as a student. All of that is reviewed by our staff as we're learning more about you. Other ways you can add to the application. We are test optional for students applying through spring 2025. So that means if you have SAT or ACT scores you want to submit, we will welcome them. If you don't have the scores or don't like the scores, you're not required to submit those. I still encourage you to take the SAT, to take the ACT. You never know how you're going to do unless you take the exam first, but you're not required to submit those scores to us. If you do submit, we will superscore, and we will also accept self-reported scores. We also will require auditions and portfolios for students applying to our College of Visual Performing Arts and our School of Architecture. Be mindful of that in the application process. We'll need that audition or portfolio in order to be able to review you for admission. Last thing I want to note is we offer interviews. These happen via Zoom. It's a great way to add to your application. They are only available to seniors. So that's something, if you're currently a junior, now is not the time to do an interview. But if you are a senior, you can sign up for those today on our website. Last thing I want to touch on is our commitment to affordability. Last year, we saw $328 million given in grants and scholarships. Really, we strive to meet our full demonstrated need. 97% of students 97% of need was met for our students who had need. And so that's something that we really are looking to create opportunities to care for students when it comes to affordability. There is no separate application to be considered for a merit scholarship. Applying for admission is applying for a merit scholarship. It is test optional for both. But for need-based financial aid, that's loans, work study, additional institutional grants, we ask for both the FAFSA and the CSS profile. One thing I want to note, if you're not aware, the FAFSA is being rewritten and is going through a process. Submit that as soon as that is available. But for the CSS profile, that is due at the same deadline as the application that you're applying for, right? So for early decision 1, it's due November 15th. For early decision 2 and regular decision, it's due January 5th. We do require both the CSS profile and the FAFSA in order to give you a financial aid package. I know there's going to be more questions that come throughout this time. I encourage you to submit emails to us at orange@syr.edu, to contact your admissions representative, to give us a call. We want to be there as you have those questions, as you're looking to find that college that will help grow you, that will help stretch you, that will help you become the best version of who you can be. I truly do believe Syracuse can be that place for you, not just because it was for me, but because it's been that way for the students I've gotten to know since I've come back to the university 6 years ago. For over 250,000 alumni worldwide. So I encourage you throughout this fall to get to know us, to sign up for virtual sessions, to come to campus if you can, to talk to our students, to our faculty, to our staff, to discover what it means to be Orange. Because I guarantee you, Orange is more than just a color. It is a community. It is bold. It is passionate. It is committed. And it's something that we are so vibrantly wanting to share with you. I want to thank you so much for joining us here tonight. I want to thank April as well. As you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're happy to help you through this process. Thank you so much, and go Orange.